What is going on, y'all? It's Jason and Sylvester over here at Cog Hill Farm, and we're gonna go check and see how the floors are in the barn and see if we can continue on getting the floors ready for the animals. And I got a big surprise to show you guys at the barn, kind of a big announcement of what's fixing to happen at the barn, hopefully this week. Isn't that right, Sylvester? So we're headed to the barn, and y'all look at this crew. We got Holly the leader, and there's Bandit, and here comes Rocky, and here comes little Dee Dee.
She might pass Rocky.
Yeah, she might pass Rocky. Oh my gracious, what a crew. And Holly's done found her a toy. So right off the bat, in the barn, zero smell, no odor whatsoever. You can't even smell that, or can't even tell I sealed the floors by your sniffer.
No, thankful for the two double doors that were open for ventilation.
Right.
Got every iota, is that a word?
It is today.
Iota of smell out.
It's gone. It is gone.
So I'm glad, because I really didn't want a migraine.
Yeah, I know. So now on to phase 2, which will be putting stall mats down in the stalls. If you don't know what a stall mat is, it's kind of like a thick rubber mat. Helps with animals slipping. It's not hard on their feet. It kind of makes cleanup easier. And that is one reason that we did seal the floors, because the stall mats are not, they're going to be gaps in the stall mats. So if animal does have to go to number 1, then it could soak in the concrete, and then that over a period of time could make a really strong ammonia smell, and here's what I'm thinking. So we sealed the floors first. Now we're going to measure and see the stall mat situation and how many we need and all that kind of good stuff, and try to get those guys installed today. You got the measuring tape?
I have the measuring tape, but I'm looking for something to write with, because I don't think I'm going to be able to store all that information up here. You
think I can just put it in my phone?
Good idea, Jason. Technology at its finest. Where do you want to start?
I guess we're on this side. We can start over here on the boy side.
Okay. And we may find that they're the same size, but we need to check.
Yeah, we want to double check.
All right, so I got 7 foot 4 inches.
Okay.
And little less than 12 foot, but we're going to say 12 foot.
Okay.
And I'm thinking this one's the same, but we can double check.
Okay.
Yep, 7 4. Let's just make sure the lengths are same.
It may be different because this is...
Nope, it's the same.
Okay.
12, right at 12 foot.
Okay. All right, so we got all the measurements for the mats. Now we're going to run to our farm store and pick the mats up. The only thing I am a little worried about is cutting these guys. I am a little worried about cutting them. We may have to do a little bit of experimenting with cutting them. We may try different things to cut it with, because they're pretty darn thick. So let's go load up and hit. Ooh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot about the big surprise at the barn. Let me go show you guys. So we plan to have outdoor stalls just like we have indoor stalls in the barn. That way we can keep the certain breeds of animals separated. We can keep Nugget separated from the goats, so forth and so on. So we reached out to Roberto and Heidel. They did such an amazing job on the inside. We reached out to them and gave them an idea what we want to do on the outside. So hopefully they come this week and get started on the outdoor stalls. We got all the materials already here for them. Got this delivered the other day, and they're ready to get started. Now on this side here, there's only one thing different on this side than it is on the other side. The other side is going to be all stalls. This side is not going to be like that. This first area is going to be open where we can park the tractors in, and the stalls won't start over here to right about here. So about 60% of this side will be open for tractors or equipment, and the other 40% will be a stall for the boy goats. Since Roberto and Heido are coming to build the outdoor stalls, we decided that it would probably be better for the barn cats, Sylvester, Bramble, and Biscuit, to stay in the garage for a little bit longer until they're done. We don't want them to accidentally let one of them out by mistake or something like that. So for their safety, they're going to stay in the garage just a little bit longer. They're perfectly fine over there. They're happy, and I think they've been getting tons of loving from the next door neighbor. My mother-in-law, Brooke's mama, as you guys know, loves cats.
You know, those mats are really heavy.
Yeah.
And we've dealt with them before in a horse trailer.
Right.
Do you think it'd be better if we pull the trailer versus trying to put them in the back of the truck?
Well, yeah, that may work out better.
And then we won't have to worry. We could even cut them on the trailer if we need to.
Right.
I think that's what we'll do, because
I think that's what we'll do too. That's
it's
a good idea.
going to be hard for us to pick those things up out of the back of the truck.
Yep. And get them in the truck.
That's true.
Yeah. I like that idea better. Because I'm not for sure how many we need. Have you calculated it up yet? Nope.
I need to see the dimensions. I think I've got in my head, I think they're 8x4 or 4x8.
I got you.
But I need to go and physically verify that before I start doing figuring.
Okay, sounds good.
You're not going to believe this.
What?
I did some checking to see what the dimensions were while you were hooking the trailer up.
Yeah.
And they're on sale.
Perfect.
How crazy is that?
That's perfect.
And they're 4x6.
Okay, so that's even perfect.
Yes, that's going to be better size for us.
Yes.
So they're on sale.
This is great. And it looks like, yeah, they got plenty. Yep, we got plenty. Oh, they got some over here too. So we're good to go. All right, loaded up, strapped down. Let's see if we can get them in the barn. Y'all, we got it, and it looks awesome, and it is totally anti-slip. I had no idea it was this much grip to it, but it is a lot of grip to it. It was a little bit harder than we anticipated, I will tell you guys that. The main thing was cutting it. We both thought that the jigsaw would have no problems cutting this stuff whatsoever. That's not the case. The jigsaw wouldn't even budge it. And it sounds crazy because it's just kind of like, it's just, I know it's got more in it than just rubber, but it's just rubber. And you would think the jigsaw would just zip right through it. No, jigsaw would not touch it. So then I thought, well, I'll just get my cutoff wheel and it would just go right through it like butter. Not the case. this struggle too. What is happening, or at least I think what is happening, is that it heats up and starts melting, and so it doesn't really cut, and it just kind of bogs down. So I was like, oh my gracious, what are we gonna do? So then we just got a razor knife, and I thought the razor knife would have been the worst possible way to cut it, but it's not. The razor knife is the best way to cut it, along with, we had these metal shears here that we used to cut metal with, and they did a good job cutting it as well. It was a little tedious. It's very similar to sheetrock or hardy plank, if you ever dealt with those two types of products. We could cut about halfway through it, and eventually it would just kind of snap off, or it would kind of just tear in a straight line. So now this will first keep our animals from slipping, of course, and it will be soft for them to stand on, kind of like an anti-fatigue mat. I had a lot of questions wanting to know, if we're putting these down, why do we even seal the floors? Well, let me show you. See, this is just a stall mat, so there are gaps. See right here? So if an animal was to do number 1 or do number 2, it still could seep in here and then soak into the concrete. And again, like I said earlier in the video, over time, I would think the concrete would start producing a pretty strong ammonia smell. Or that's just what I think. So sealing the concrete was no big deal. We had the sealer left over from our house, and it really wasn't that hard of a job. So I'm glad I did seal the floors. Speaking of sealing the floors, I got something else to tell you guys. A lot of y'all are asking about, are we going to seal the milkroom floor? You should seal the milkroom floor. We are going to seal the milkroom floor. But Brooke wants to stain the milkroom floor first, just for aesthetics, no more than that. And so we're going to do that first, then seal it, and hopefully do that fairly soon.
So I was too scared to stain our floors in our house, and that's why I've decided I want to stain the milkroom. I really just want to see what it's going to look like. I want to see if I would have been happier if we had stained the floors versus going with just sealed concrete. But nonetheless, we're not going back and doing our house over. If I want it stained, I can come down here and look in the milkroom versus taking a chance and doing our house.
Yeah.
So now I got to pick out some colors.
And you're thinking about the acid stain is what we're kind of thinking?
I think so. The place where we purchased the sealer sells stain as well. And I'm going to go over and just talk to him and see what product he recommends and what he thinks will work in our situation.
I got you.
So after I talk to him, I'll be sure to let you guys know. And I may even take you with me.
Oh, that would be fun. The other question was, are we going to seal the barn floors, the rest of the barn floors? No, we're not going to do that. I was a service manager at a car dealership for over 20 years. And one of the biggest issues we had is we had an area of the shop that the concrete was sealed versus areas of the shop where the concrete wasn't sealed. We were a car shop, so we were constantly, we were changing oil, there was grease and all that. Where the concrete was sealed and all that automotive business going on, it became very unsafe at times. So we don't want this floor to be like that. This floor is going to be exposed to the elements. We got these big barn doors right here, so rain could come in, cause a slippery situation. And if we're working on the tractors, we got the tractors in here. They have grease, they have oil, they have hydraulic fluid. I'd much rather that get absorbed than it's sitting on top and one of us slip and fall and get hurt very bad. So that's the reason why we're not going to seal the barn itself, just the stalls and the milkroom. So when we got these things, of course they're rubber, and it's got that strong rubber smell. And the first thing I think of when I smell this smell is when I was a kid, BMX bikes and freestyle bikes, they were so popular. And there was a BMX or freestyle bike store in Montgomery. And every time we went, I would beg my parents to go. And when we'd go in there, because of the tires, the bicycle tires, this is the smell I think of. And it reminds me of my childhood. Even at the car dealership I worked at, we install tires. And every time I smell that rubber smell, that's the first thing I think of, is just going in that store and just dreaming, because it had all the bikes and skateboards, and man, it was just a treat to get to go in that store. And finally, one day, my dad took me over there, and I didn't know what was going on. He took me over there, and I got me a freestyle bike, and that was the greatest thing ever. Nugget, let me see them shoes you got right there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're gonna be happy we installed these stall mats. Yeah, they're gonna feel good on them feet, and it's gonna be way safer for you. Yeah, it's gonna be way safer. I need to go tell everybody else about them, okay? You have a good rest of the day, okay? Don't fall asleep on me. Hey Jesse, we put some stall mats down in the barn, and I think you're gonna be happy we did that. Hey, you know what I think? I think that you might need like automatic hugger in the barn. What do you think? You can go in there and just get you some hugs automatically. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, Jesse and her automatic hugger. Jesse, you can't get in my lap, baby. You're not a lap dog. You know it? You can't get in my lap. And you're blocking the camera? Yeah, people can't even see. You know it? Oh, goodness. Y'all, this donkey. Oh my gracious, this donkey right here. What would we do without her, huh? Oh, do me a favor, Jesse. Put in a good word for me with Peaches, okay? Oh, oh my gracious.